Okay, this video is admittedly going to be a little different than my usual ones. For starters, I'm not out at the hot tub. The reason for that is actually that it's freezing cold outside and it's raining, and that doesn't make for a very good video. But I'm also doing a product review in this video, which I don't normally do. And this is not a product I've ever used before, so it's brand new to me. So I'm going to do basically an unboxing video and go through each of the products that I have. And then in about a week, I'm going to do a follow-up video where I talk about the results I'm seeing in my hot tub. Hi, I'm Jeff Campbell from Hot Tub Owner HQ, and I'm glad you're here with me today. So full disclosure, this company is not paying me to do this video, but they did send me their products for free to test out. Now, whether they paid me and whether they sent them to me for free isn't gonna change my assessment. I'm always going to give you my absolutely unbiased, honest opinion, no matter what. But I don't know this product, I haven't ever used it before, so let's dive in and see what they sent me. I'm gonna pull up the reviews on Amazon of these items and kind of go through some of the comments and some of the star ratings and things like that, just so we can get a well-rounded view of the products. And then, like I mentioned, in the next video, I'll be talking about the results that I'm actually seeing in my hot tub. So the company is called MAV, I believe, and their product line is called AquaDoc, right there. AquaDoc. And so this first product that they sent me a bunch of products, and we're going to go through them one by one. This first one are Bromine Tablets, which I already use in my floater. But the first thing I want to kind of do is see what the ingredients are in this. It says bromochloro 5.5 dimethyl hydroton or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a chemist. But let me see how that compares to the bromine tablets that I've currently been using, which is this one from Clorox. It does look like it's slightly different. The Clorox says it's 98% and then other ingredients 2%, whereas this is 99 and 1%. So I don't know. We'll see. I did intentionally let my hot tub run out of chemicals so that I could get an unbiased test of how the new ones are going to work. So I'll put some in there at the end of this video, and then like I said, in the next video we'll see how they did. I'm also going to kind of compare how quickly they dissolve compared to these. But let's take a look at the reviews of this one on Amazon. All right, so I can't tell you the exact star rating because that goes against Amazon's terms of service. So I'm going to kind of give you the overview of what I'm seeing on the Amazon website. I'm also going to link to all of these products down below so you can click over to Amazon and see for yourself as well. But overall, it has almost 200 reviews of this particular product. Very good reviews overall. Very high star rating. Not a perfect 5.0, but very close. And what I like to do when I'm evaluating any product is look at the worst reviews and see if I'm seeing the same thing over and over and over again from different people. So I like to click on the 1-star reviews and kind of see what they say. So first person says mold grows orange slime with this product. That seems really strange to me. I've never seen orange slime in my hot tub, and I can't imagine if you're using this product correctly in conjunction with hot tub shock that you would see orange slime or slime of any kind. The next one says the tablets don't dissolve. So we will actually check that. I'm going to put the same number of tablets of this one in my floater, and a week from now we'll see if they did indeed dissolve at the same rate as the ones that I've been using. The last one, and there's only 3 1-star reviews, says I received this package of tablets that had been opened, powder loose in the box. So that's really more of an issue with Amazon's warehouse than it is with the product itself. So right out of the gate, I say that's not too bad here. The only one that's really of concern to me is whether or not they dissolve, but we'll find that out. This next one is Alkalinity Booster, and right out of the gate I see that it says Alkalinity Booster, not Spa Up, because a lot of products do say Spa Up or Spa Down because they affect both the pH and the alkalinity. So it's interesting that this one is labeled specifically for alkalinity. Just bear in mind that, as I've said in many of my videos, any product designed to affect pH or alkalinity will affect the other one too, at least a little bit. Now, let me see what the actual ingredients of this are. So this is sodium bicarbonate. So that is indeed the exact ingredient in that normal little orange yellow box of baking soda that you probably have in your kitchen right now. So first thing I want to do is see how much this costs, because, you know, baking soda is pretty cheap. So this shouldn't be outrageously expensive in my mind. Again, Amazon's terms of service prevent me from giving you the exact current price on Amazon. Let's just say it's just a little bit under 20 bucks though. So, and this is 32 ounces. So my first thought is the box of baking soda that's probably already in your pantry is definitely more economical than this one. So I don't know why you would get this one necessarily. But let's take a look at the reviews. Like the other one, this one does have near perfect reviews. Not quite as many, but it has 62. No 1-star reviews, which is great. There is a 3-star. It says, been using other brands. This one seems to take much more product to yield the same effect. I will say that baking soda, you do typically have to use a lot of it to affect a change in alkalinity and especially pH. So that could be what this person's talking about. They could have been previously using a different product that wasn't sodium bicarbonate. They didn't know that there was a difference between the two, and now they're realizing that this requires a lot to increase the total alkalinity. Look at the 4 stars, because those are generally pretty good reviews, but maybe a few criticisms. Works well, increases the alkalinity, great price, etc. So I don't see anything there compelling me as to why I should get this instead of that orange box, but I don't see any huge red flags either. Now this one is interesting because I haven't used a non-chlorine based shock in a while. So I am curious to see how this one works in my hot tub, because traditionally when I've used a non-chlorine shock, I do notice cloudier water. So what I'll do is today I'll show you a shot of what the water looks like, and then in a week when I do the follow-up video, we'll see if it's any cloudier than it is today. That'll be a good test of this product. Let's see what's actually in this. Potassium peroxymonosulfate, 36.2%, and then the other ingredients are 63.8%. And it doesn't really tell us, at least on the front label, what those other ingredients are. But as we've done with the other products, let's see what the reviews look like on this. But I am really curious to see how this handles my hot tub water and if it gets cloudy or not, because a non-chlorine shock will definitely be gentler on your skin. So if my water doesn't get any cloudier than it is right now, that's great. So this one actually has the highest number of ratings of any of the products we've looked at so far. It's also an Amazon's Choice product, has well over 400 reviews. Overall, a slightly higher star rating than the others. And again, all of these star ratings are really exceptional. They're all very close to 5. Again, Amazon won't let me tell you exactly what that is. Now, I am looking at the 1-star reviews now because that's always my go-to. And the first review says, turned my water poop brown. Thanks for the visual, buddy. Another one says, didn't work. Another one says, not worth it. Still need to use chlorine shock. Now, the first thought with the turning the water brown, sometimes when I add chlorine-based products to my water, the mineral content will temporarily cause the color to change either to a green or sometimes a greenish brown. I don't know if non-chlorine shock will have that same effect, but I wonder if that's what that guy was seeing. This one just says the product works great, but I lost some of the contents because the cap came off in shipping. This person says did not have much luck with it, did not yield great results. The next one says, things that make you go, All the contents were in the shipping bag. Must have been a shipping problem. This person says nothing special. This person says not sealed. So again, that's the third instance I'm seeing where somebody's complained about the lid coming off and the product spilling during the shipping process. So that could actually be a manufacturing problem if that's a consistent thing. The real test here will be to see what my water looks like in a week. So we'll follow up with that in the next video. This next one are chlorinating granules. In other words, chlorine-based sanitizer. I do use the bromine sanitizer, and you do not want to mix bromine sanitizer and chlorine sanitizer. So I can't test this one out until I do a water change on my hot tub. And then I will test this one out. Maybe I'll do a video specifically reviewing this product. You don't want to mix bromine and chlorine sanitizers though. Either wait till the bromine or chlorine is completely gone from your water, which isn't necessarily safe if you're still soaking in it, or wait and do a water change and then switch sanitizers at that time. It is okay, as I've said in many videos, to use a bromine sanitizer in conjunction with chlorine-based shock because they're formulated differently. But sanitizers, you don't want to mix the two. But let's take a look at the reviews of this one. So again, this is also an Amazon's Choice product. This one has about 600 reviews and has outstanding reviews in terms of the overall star rating. In fact, the best star rating so far of any of the products that we've looked at. Let's look at the 1-star reviews as we've been doing. Product was not sealed. Okay, that's another complaint about the lid coming off in shipping. So that could be a manufacturing issue. This person says weak chlorine. We have always always used granular chlorine in our hot tub. Thought I'd try getting it on Amazon and chose this. It is such a weak chlorine, I had to put 1.5 cups in to get it to register. Usually we use a tablespoon after use. So disappointed it doesn't even have that chlorine strong smell. Let's actually look at the ingredients on this one. Sodium dichlorotriazoturnonine, or however you say that. Again, I'm not a chemist. And it's 99%. That is the typical ingredient I've seen in Chlorine Sanitizer for hot tubs. So I don't know why this would be weaker than normal. But again, I'll have to wait and do a thorough review of this specific product the next time I do a water change. I can't do that one right now. Now, the next product is water clarifier. And as you can see here, this one did actually leak in the box. So like some of those other people have complained about, this one leaked. So that does tell me it's a manufacturing problem and not an Amazon problem, because this was shipped to me directly by the company. So that is something that they'll need to take a look at, and I'll actually mention that to them. But let's see, this is basically to clear the water when it's cloudy or not crystal clear. And maybe this is designed to work in conjunction with that non-chlorine shock. Maybe you have to use the two of them to get the crystal clear water that I'm used to from using chlorine-based shock. Let's see what the ingredients are in this. Obviously it's blue, and you can see that from getting on my hands as well. I don't actually see anywhere where it tells us what the ingredients are in this. That's interesting. But what we'll do is, like I said, I'll add the non-chlorine shock today. We'll shoot a video showing what the water looks like next week after having used that for a week. And then if it's cloudy, I'll add this and see how long it takes to clear up. I will say it is a little bit annoying because that blue does not wash off of my hands that spilled out of the container. That's a little frustrating, a little bit of a red flag. But let's look at the reviews of that one. So this one only has about 60 reviews, but again, the reviews are excellent. Let's look again at the 1-star reviews. This one just says expensive poo. This barely works in our hot tub. The Walmart clear works 10 times better for much cheaper. And that's the only 1-star review. There's no 2-star reviews. There's no 3-star reviews. No 4-star reviews. So basically 1-star review and the rest are all 5 stars. So that's a good sign for me. We'll see if we even need it after using that non-chlorine based shock. Price-wise, it's a little under 30 bucks. So it is a little expensive. And if you have to use it to get clear water because you're using that non-chlorine based shock, for me, I don't know if that would be worth it. I might rather use a chlorine based shock and just have clear water right out of the gate, because that's going to be a lot less expensive. The next product is water defoamer. And of course, foam can be caused by a variety of things. A bunch of people get in the hot tub that have body lotions and perfumes and things like that. That can sometimes cause foam in the water. High pH can also sometimes cause foam in the water. And if the water's just kind of dirty in general and needs to be changed, you can see foam in the water. That should not be confused, though, for when you turn the jets on and the bubbles kind of aerate and create foam on the surface that instantly goes away when you turn the jets back off again. That's different. This is foam that basically sits on the surface of the water all the time. And this is designed to get rid of that. I don't usually have to use a product like this. I have occasionally, but for the most part, if I'm being diligent about my water chemistry and changing my water regularly, which you should do about every 3 months or so, I don't really find I have to have a product like this. But let's take a look at the reviews. This product is fairly inexpensive. It's well below 20 bucks, has almost 800 reviews. And again, as we're seeing with the other product, excellent reviews, almost 5-star reviews all the way around. And this one is also an Amazon's Choice product. Again, looking at the 1-star reviews, this one says big time weak product, foam returns. This one says toxic. This stuff is toxic. It's given both my husband and I sore throats and coughs. It has an acrid odor, and I just use a small amount. And then this one says waxy film. I followed the directions on the bottle, shook first. This is like pouring waxy globs of shampoo into your hot tub. It did the job and the foam is gone, but I will be changing the water soon. So basically they're saying that it leaves an unpleasant texture in the water afterwards. This one says very disappointed, made my water oily and made the water cloudy. Another one says did not work, doesn't work at all. We still have tons of foam, started getting a rash after using it. And then this one says leaves a film in the hot tub and on the filter. Let's actually take a look and see what the ingredients are in this one, if it tells us. It didn't tell us on that last product. And again, I'm not seeing what's in the ingredients listed on the label, so I don't know. And I don't usually have a foam problem, so it may be hard for me to test. But again, I did read you the 1-star reviews, but the vast majority of the hundreds of reviews that are on Amazon are actually 5-star reviews. I like to read those to look for some commonalities, to see if there's a common thread that might be indicative of an actual problem and not user error. essentially. And I did see the same kind of theme over and over again about it leaving an unpleasant film in the water that was uncomfortable to the skin. So that is a little bit of a red flag, but again, I still feel like if you're balancing your water correctly, you're changing the water regularly, you probably are not going to have a need for a product like this. But if I do have a foam problem anywhere in the near future, I will do a video specifically about this, seeing how well it works and testing the water to see if it feels unpleasant to me. This next product is pH Increaser, and of course that's a pretty normal thing. Again, sometimes the products will say spa up or spa down. This one does specifically say pH. Ingredient wise, it is sodium carbonate, which is similar to sodium bicarbonate, which is what baking soda is and what was in the Alkalinity Increaser, but this is the typical ingredient you see in pH Increaser. Let's compare that though to the pH Increaser I've been using. This one from Pool Time called pH Up, and this indeed is also sodium carbonate, so same exact thing, but I've normally been using a powder, and this, as you can hear, is a liquid. Let's take a look at the reviews of this one. All right, so the pH Increaser has just under 100 reviews, and as we've seen with the rest of their products, very good star ratings, almost 5 stars all the way around. Price wise, it's about a little over 20 bucks. Let's take a look again at the 1-star reviews. This one says wrong product. Sticker says pH Increaser, but the bottle itself is pH Decreaser. All right, that could be a one-time manufacturing issue, and that's the only 1-star review on Amazon. Let's look at the 2-star reviews. Takes too much, does not do what it's supposed to do. Granules are better. So they're comparing the liquid to the granules, and I've only ever used granules. I've never used liquid before. This says it's only 4.7% sodium carbonate. You can get other products that are essentially 100% sodium carbonate. It does actually say 4.7% on the label. Let me compare that to the product I've been using, see if the percentage is the same. This one does indeed say 100%, so this one is much more concentrated than the other one. Now that begs the question, which is more expensive? Let me take a look. So what I'm seeing is that this, which is 6 pounds, is normally about 20 bucks. The MAV product, the AquaDoc, is a little over 20 bucks for a much smaller bottle, and this one is much more concentrated. Again, this is 100%. Now, the only thing I notice is that this doesn't say anything about hot tubs, and I did actually indeed buy this for my swimming pool. I do occasionally use it in my hot tub, but most of the time I don't find that the pH needs to go up. I usually find it needs to go down. So I don't use it a lot in my hot tub, but I don't see why you couldn't use it in a hot tub. And so that begs the question, why would you spend more money for a far less concentrated product? I don't know the answer to that question, but that is a question worth asking. So I don't know that I would buy that product. Next product is pH Decreaser, which of course goes hand in hand with pH Increaser. This one is sodium bisulfate, 26.27%. Let's take a look at the reviews of this one. Again, a little over $20. This one actually has the lowest star rating of any that we've looked at so far. It's still over a 4.0 star rating, but not by much. So every other product we've looked at has been significantly over 4.0. Little over 100 reviews. Much higher 1-star review rating for this product than any of the other ones we've looked at. 9% of the reviews are 1 star. So that is a little bit of a red flag compared to every other product we've looked at so far. Let's see why. So the first person says, need to call, the pH is the same, does not work, this stuff is useless, doesn't work. Product came without a cap. And this is a liquid, so that means it would spill everywhere. 2 people said, where's my cap? Another one says doesn't work. So a lot of people are complaining that this is not having much of an impact lowering their pH. No 2-star reviews. Let's look at 3-star. Bottle went too quickly, did not lower my small pool pH. However, it needed more of the product than described in the instructions. It was effective, but for the price, the bottle didn't last long. This one says not really working. I keep dumping in product and my pH didn't seem to drop. It also is worth noting, though, that there are some things that artificially increase your pH, such as running your jets and water features. So if you are trying to lower your pH when you're adding a product like this, try not running the jets and the water features like I normally suggest when you add chemicals, because that will kind of artificially raise the pH level. And if you're trying to drop it, they're kind of going against each other. So anyway, based on the reviews, I'd be a little skeptical of this product. This next one is called Metal Prevent. Especially if you're using well water, there's naturally going to be high levels of iron and other minerals in your water, but there may be that even when you're connected to city water. And I don't typically find I have to do a lot of adjustment with regards to metals in my water, but as I've mentioned in some of my videos, when I do add chlorine shock, sometimes my water will briefly turn green, which indicates that the chlorine is interacting with the iron in the water. So I do definitely have a little bit of that, but I don't have a huge problem with it, so I don't typically have to add a product like this. But let's take a look at the reviews of this one. All right, this is indeed another Amazon's Choice product, has almost 200 reviews, and overall an excellent star rating. As we've been doing, let's take a look at the 1-star reviews. Horrible product, do not buy this product. It doesn't really say why they don't like it, and they're typing in all caps. This one says does not work, but again, they don't tell us what results they're seeing, so not terribly helpful on those reviews. One 2-star review says the yellow color was a turnoff. Leisure Spa is clear and will be my go-to. Look at the 3 stars, no 3 stars, and 4 stars. Good, easy item to use. All that says there. The rest of the reviews are all 5-star reviews, and there are quite a few of them, well over 130. So I do think that this is a good product, so especially if you're on well water or if you know that your city water has high levels of iron and other metal and mineral contents in the water, this could definitely be a good product to use. It's very inexpensive. It's a smaller bottle, as you see, than some of the other bottles we've looked at so far today, but it's just a little bit under $12. So well worth getting, I think, if you think you have high levels of metals in the water coming out of your garden hose. The last product they sent me, I'm very curious about it. I know some of you are too because you've asked me about this over the years. This one is Natural Enzyme Spa and Hot Tub Care. Eliminates scum lines, eliminates odors. Let me see, I'm not 100% certain in looking at the bottle if this means we can eliminate using sanitizer and or shock. So let's dive in a little deeper on this one than we have on some of the other products that are really crystal clear as to what they do. Spa enzyme water treatment to clarify hot tub water. Avoid scum line buildup and get clean hot tub water lines. Works to remove odors and scum line stains. All right, it says compatible with bromine, chlorine, ozone, and other sanitizers. This is not a replacement for sanitizer. It is used in conjunction with sanitizer. Presumably, I think if your water is a little smelly, or if you are noticing a scum line around where the water hits the edge of your hot tub's shell. I don't typically notice that, and that's because I do a pretty good job of keeping my water balanced and then changing my water regularly. I think if you're not quite on top of those things, you might notice those things, in which case maybe this product would be helpful. And it's enzyme based, which means it is going to be natural and kind of gentle on the skin. And it says use 1 ounce per 500 gallons of water weekly. So that's not a lot. And this is not a very expensive product. It's well under $20. Again, it's a smaller bottle like the last one we looked at. Also an Amazon's Choice product, well over 400 reviews and excellent reviews as well. Let's look at some of those reviews. This one says, didn't work for me. I have cloudy water. I think it's from my wife and daughter using a lot of lotion. If that's the case, the best scenario really is going to be to get them to shower off or rinse off in some way before they get in the hot tub, because I don't think you're ever going to really find a way to balance that, because that stuff's going right into the water and you really have to add a lot of something like this or some sort of clarifier to deal with that. You also need to rinse the filter out because that stuff's going to get trapped in the filter and then it's just going to get recirculated back into the water again. This one says actually made the water worse, made my water cloudy with scum floating on the top, caused a huge flurry of stringy, goopy brown stuff every time we added it. Good for the skin, but water didn't stay clear. Terrible product. Made my hot tub dirty. Not clear water, won't buy again. So definitely some criticisms there. But again, we've got well over 300 5-star reviews of this product, so it's clearly working for somebody. Let's look at the 2-star reviews. There's no 2-star reviews. 3 stars, moderately effective. There's only 1 3-star review. 4-star reviews, worked as stated. It's very warm and I like its sheerness. I have no idea what that means. Doesn't feel warm in the bottle, go figure. And the rest are all 5-star reviews. So again, I think if you're noticing a problem with odor from your hot tub or scum line around the perimeter where the water hits the hot tub shell, maybe this is a product you need. I don't usually find those issues, and if you don't see those issues, I don't know that you really need this product. So again, that's my review of those products. The next video is going to be me showing you the results of having used some of those products. But for right now, let's move outside. I'm going to test the water with a test strip, see what I need to actually add. I know I need to put some bromine tablets in there, and I know I need to add some shock. All right, so I'm just going to dip a test strip in. I like to put it in for about 2 seconds, shake off the excess, and then immediately kind of hold it up here. As you can see, I intentionally, as I mentioned, I intentionally haven't put chemicals in a week, so the chlorine is pretty much non-existent. The alkalinity is actually low, as is the pH. So both of those need to come up, and we need to shock it, and we need to add bromine tablets. So I'm going to do all of that now, and then again in the next video I'm going to show you the results of these chemicals and how it's affected my hot tub's water. First, I'm going to put some bromine tablets in here. I typically put 6 tablets in a week. These tablets are 1-inch tablets just like the ones I've been using. So I'm literally just going to pour those in. I don't really want to handle them with my bare fingers if I can help it. If I do, I'm just going to rinse them off in the hot tub water real quick. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's about right. I'm going to leave the fins set exactly the same so I can compare how fast they dissolve compared to the other brand I was using, because that was one of the complaints that we saw, was that somebody said that they didn't dissolve. So I'm going to leave them set, the fins set exactly how they are, which is just barely cracked. In other words, just barely letting water in there. Then we need to add some shock. I haven't used non-chlorine shock in a long time. What I typically do with chlorine-based shock is I add, kind of a loose capful like that. So I'm going to add the same amount of that and see how that works compared to the chlorine-based shock that I normally use. And then, as we saw, we need to raise the alkalinity and the pH. This is pH increaser. This says 1 ounce of the products for every 100 gallons. So for the size of my hot tub, I'm probably going to add about 5 ounces. Again, it wasn't incredibly low. It just needs to come up a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And then lastly, alkalinity needed to come up as well. And this is a powder, unlike the pH increaser we just used. And again, I'm just going to kind of, maybe a third of a capful. Toss that in. I have the power off on my hot tub since I'm shooting a video. I am going to turn it on now, run the jets, kind of circulate all of that. And then in next week's video, we're going to see how well it performed. I'm going to test the water, see how the levels look, see how well the bromine tablets have dissolved or not dissolved. And we'll kind of get a good feel as to whether or not this is a quality product that you should consider purchasing. Anyway, I know this is a longer video and a little bit different than my usual ones, but I hope you found it helpful. Hit that like button, subscribe, and bell notification if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.